Hey YouTube, this is Cabover Gary. I'm back out here with my 1991 Cabover Freightliner. I'm going to adjust the valves today and try to button up some things to get her back on the road. If you don't know what happened, I got some bad fuel. Took out some ejectors and broke the injector rockers. So truck's been down for a little bit as I've been busy, and it's now finally time to get back on the road. So let me show you first steps here. So I have everything up here torqued down, and all the push rods are in, kind of at a safe level to turn over the motor. Um, so there's a sequence to this, and up on this pulley here, there's marks, timing marks. There's A, B, and C. So you line them up with a slot that's on the front cover here, and you adjust them, then you turn it, adjust the next set, turn it, adjust the next set, so on. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and I'll go over how to do this. This is going to be for a Cummins L10 with top stop injectors. So, so here's this chart that I was talking about. So we start on A, and the cylinder valves will be closed on number 5, and we set cylinder number 5. And we rotate the motor to B. Valves are closed on 3. We set 3 and adjust injector 6, and so on. So I'm going to start doing this and show you how to do. So now there's 2 A's, and there's 2 of each letter basically. So we got to make sure that we're on the right letter, or right rotation for the letter to adjust the valves. It doesn't matter where you start in that, just as long as you go through the whole thing. So I'm going to put this on that nut. Now I'm going the wrong way. I'm going to go past where I need to do, so I can take out the gear slack. I was right on the A almost. So now I'm going the right direction, but I took out the gear slack by going past where I was needing to go. Okay. We're on letter A. So letter A says we need to adjust number 5. So to do that, we need a 3/4 inch wrench, or 19 millimeter. And then we need a regular, fairly good size screwdriver. And then we need a feeler gauge. So now how my feeler gauge is, so the valve adjustment for the exhaust is 0.027, and the valve adjustment for the intake valves are 0.014. So now what we do, this engine's easy to tell because it's got jakes. So the one that has the deal for the jake to hit is the exhaust side, and the other side's the intake. Or the shorter rocker is the intake valves, and then the longer rocker is the exhaust valves. So we're going to check this intake first. And what you want is you want to be able to slide this under and have just a little bit of drag. It's too tight at the moment, so I'm going to, that's tight. So loosen it up a little bit. Still too tight. Now loosen it a little bit more. gotta hold the screwdriver side and tighten the other. Now I always set them a little bit on the loose side, because when you tighten this nut, it's inevitably that you can't hold the screwdriver as good. So, but I got that one too loose. So what I was meaning by that is that it tightens up a little bit, but it didn't at that time. Okay. Huh, still too loose. See, then you got a drag on it. That's what you're wanting. You're wanting to have a drag on it. So that one's set good. So now we're gonna go to the exhaust one. This one's a little loose. So I'm gonna break the nut free. Tighten until I got a little pressure, back off a little bit, and then let's check that, see where we're at. I think that's going to be good when we tighten it. A little loose. I'm going to tighten it a little bit more. Oh, so close, but I want it a little bit tighter. And I got too far. Perfect. I'm really picky on this. Probably don't really have to be. I mean, these motors are big and they could have some slop in them. So now I'm going to rotate to position B. Alright, there's position B. So now in position B, we have to set valves on number 3 and an injector on number 6. Let's do the injector first. Spec for these is to take out the slop. So there's no slop, and then give it one full turn, and what that does is that takes out or sets the plunger into the injector properly. So I made it so this touches. Now I'm going to give it one full turn. So let's see here. There's half a turn, full turn, and then they say back it off. So I'm going to back it off. So there's a little play. I'm going to take the play out. There's the play. Then it's 5-inch pounds. So I know this isn't a great way to do it, but I'm just going to give it a little bit. I don't have a tool. Cummins does make a tool for this, and I need to buy it, but I haven't been able to find one, being an older motor. Okay. Well, YouTube, I did something kind of silly. Yesterday, I was doing the valve adjustment. I started turning the motor, and all of a sudden it locked up. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So yesterday I was doing it where I was doing one cylinder at the time. I was putting the push rods in, and I thought, well, hell, maybe I'm just compression locked. So I got my my wooden hammer out, put them on the valves, tapped them all, try to relieve pressure, compression. Still nothing. Then it got in my head, I'm like, I wonder if I left a rag in the motor. So pulled it all back apart. Nothing there. So I'm like, well, at least I know now, not in the back of my head. Not that there was much, I just couldn't figure out what was causing it. So I put it all back together, and you saw it at the beginning of this video where I ended up with this morning. Well, I was adjusting, and sure enough, it locked up again. I was like, what is going on? Sat down, was thinking for a while, called a friend, and he's like, are you sure it's not in gear? I'm like, oh, lifting the cab and stuff. This is the shifter mechanism here. Telescopes out. Lifting the cab and stuff could have shifted it. Dang it. Went to lunch, came back, put it in neutral, rotates fine now. I feel like an idiot. Good news is I got 2 positions left, and I'm done with the valves. Then I gotta set the jigs, and then I gotta put the gaskets on and close up the top. So I'm gonna finish that. Finish it. I'll time lapse the rest of this again. Okay guys, I should have done this as I was doing the rest of the motor. I gotta rotate it all the way around again and get them all. But it is what it is. This is the Jake brake, so what you do at this in the instructions is you loosen the screw up the feeler gauge, a .018 feeler gauge in between the push rod and that, then tighten the screw down till it touches, and then lock it down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on all of them. So, on the position B. Alright, that concludes valve train adjustment. Next step is starting to get the rocker covers on. I'm going to go get that stuff and straighten it all out. I'll be back in a second. Well guys, that's all I got for today. Today we were able to get the overhead all adjusted, and get the jakes all adjusted. Made some good progress. Off camera I buttoned up some little odds and end bolt-ons on one side. And then tomorrow I'm going to finish that up, and then we'll have the first start since it's been down. Been way too long. I'm ready to get her going. So please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time.